Going live, guys. Going live. I am here. Hi, guys. Welcome to my beautiful library. I need to open my chat box. So hold on a second. I'm going to pause this because I forgot to turn on my chat doc. That way I can see you guys. Hi, Moon. Hopefully you can hear me good. Just going to give it a minute so slow pokes can get on. I have 3 boxes of books to read. Now, I did read them at some point on the Bohemian server privately and didn't retain much. So this time I want to... Oh, yeah, I've been posting it in Discord that I'm going live. I try to do all of that stuff in the content creator. Moon said she just now saw the notification. Yeah, I put that stuff in the content creator thing. But yeah, we're gonna read all of the books. Like I said, I did read them on the Bohemian server. They're salty. You guys, I put on all my nicest clothes for you guys. So I'm gonna show you. I put on my crown, and I got a Forlorn Hope sash. I got the Forlorn Hope tunic, which I repaired all this stuff, by the way. That's a huntsman's tunic over it. Maybe she would look better without that on. And then these are just my hunter leggings. I didn't find any better leggings, but I have my aristocrat shoes and my noble necklace, a silver bracelet and a silver pin, and of course my fancy royal belt. So I'm all decked out for you guys. And I did bring my reading glasses. They're right here. So you have to switch out your helm for glasses. They need to add a slot so we can wear the glasses with the helm. Yeah, she'll be using her glasses. I mean, I do need reading glasses in my real life. So, let's get out of this little section here. You guys, this is my library. Now, I know in the video it was kind of dark, but let's do a quick tour real quick. This is everything I got out of the RA, and we are at the top of my tower. Not quite the top. I'm not going to show you the bedroom until nighttime. We'll take a quick break up there, but I have all the books that we've already read in the bookshelves, and then everything else. And I put candles everywhere. I need to get some crystals that I have from Rainbow Rocks to put in the shelves and find more crystals. I need to find more crystals, but I think it turned out pretty good. These are the boxes of the books we need to read. And then this is my view from the patio. I mean, I am really loving this. There's my forge. Oh, look, there's a cow down there. I'm really mad at a couple of mods, but we're not going to talk about that during this stream. So anyway, we're ready to go. So let's get some books. These are, look at these 3 boxes are all the books we have to read. It's a lot of books. So I'm going to be taking 1 second just to jot down what we're reading, just a quick title and whether it's number 1 or whatever, just so we know if we've read it before really quickly, because I'm probably going to get a little lost. And I'm just going to grab up a bunch of these, and then we're going to go down the line and read them. I have food. I hope you guys can gather up like a nice warm drink or something. And here we go. First book. I'm just gonna write this down, Spy and Sparrow. And which one was that one? Shoot, I'm not fast enough. Journal. Spy and Sparrow. Looks like we only have one. The Spy and the Sparrow. My honorable lord, successfully recruited, had to prove intentions. Apologies to Baron Tassi for disturbing his sleep and the stolen chamber pot. Crude sense of humor. Haha. Group I joined as chapter of a bigger organization. joined is chapter of a bigger organization. Intentions unclear, but much talk of self-sufficiency, made up of both men and women, peasantry foremost, some craftsmen, a cobbler, 2 carpenters, a servant, just under 24 souls. None can write or read, I think, but I shall keep vigilant. Will integrate myself with them and keep them gathering observations, await further missives. Okay, so I might have already read. So we have 2 of them. We'll go ahead and just read both of them. My honorable lord, confirmed suspicions, heard boasts of loot from the raid on your lordship's holdings and Viscount Cardoso's ale stores. Bandits work together with another group, spoken of as friends, not competitors, likely another chapter. Targets for attacks decided based on current needs, medicinal supplies right now, advised to send word to all at risk. Recruitment seems to be regular but not codified, though generally proof of worth expected. Obtaining a noble's belonging or acquiring a small amount of supplies through some swindle seems a common story. No suspicion of ill intentions after newcomers welcomed. Confirming your lordship's assumptions, these are not sophisticated folk. Meeting places determined by a method I am not yet privy to, but aim to learn. Await further missives. Somebody's spying on a group of not that smart people. Don't know what they're doing. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm going to be faster about this one. This is Patronage of Tybalt 2. This is 2 of however many. And it looks like we have 4 of them. Or is this just one page? This is just the same one. Okay. Hail, ridiculous number? No? Hark. I am Tybalt Amaro, cousin to the king and 3rd Viscount of... No, suppose I just speak plainly. I made a purchase yesterday, a rather particular one, having just returned from my cousin the king's residence and seeing one of these... bells, as they are called, though I myself have no idea why. Nothing bell-like about them, akin to a snake more like. Oh God, I hate those bells. That is the worst sound ever. I am a God-fearing man and find this form unnerving. Curious that our church, so eager to lambast every drunkard and enjoyer of a carnal pleasures, remains largely mum on these, truly. Where was I? My cousin the king swears by this contraption, and it cost me a pretty penny. But soon, I hear it said, no noble house shall be without one. I wonder what other such inventive tools there are, and what their use might be. On the way back to my estate, I heard word of a traveling alchemist from the Orient, and decided to invite him here with his cart of curiosities. Provided he shows, I might host him for a while, though frankly, he'd do well to entertain me. We shall see how he fares. Ah, my throat is dry. I suppose that's enough for now. How do you make this thing inert? Shuffling, followed by scratching, followed by clanking until a sudden thud, then silence. Oh God, what did he do to the bell? Yes, so I shall not speak. I am becoming accustomed to the appearance of this device, though it has been some days since I have used it last. Some malfunction, the crooked merchant's oversight, I am sure, had it just standing there, waiting for the man to arrive and repair it. It better work fine now, or my cousin the king will learn of this. I have mentioned before an inventor, a man by the name of Daston. Where from he hails and why he uses only his first name he does not say. A quiet, small man, assuming and humble. God almighty, such a bore. In my sudden fascination with these mechanical toys, I have assumed that inventors are universally bright and intriguing, but no. The Daston fellow has brought with him trinkets and baubles aplenty, but nothing to truly inspire. A ball that gyrates in the air when spun, a parlor trick appropriate amusement for a child perhaps, but nothing more. A short reed, through which wine can be poured and which supposedly makes it more palatable. Oh, although I taste no difference. A spice grinder in the shape of some exotic hulking beast. The rest are too uninspiring to even remark upon. I shall give him a day or two more, perhaps, to present something from that rickety cart of his to truly put a spark in my eye, or else my hospitality will come to an end. I have no patience for charlatans. This guy sounds a little bit like a snob. All sounds like cool stuff to me. That wine thing must be one of those aerators. You know, said he was pouring wine. I think that is, I mean, I've never used an aerator on my wine, but yeah. Okay, so this one is not letting me click on it. So I'm not sure why that is. We might have read that one already. I mean, I don't know it. I wish it would tell us, like that one I'm clicking on and it won't let me read it. Okay, so this is part 3 of 5 of that one we just read. So right here. Oh, dang. Well, I thought I would be able to like read it again and then know what it was, because there was 2 that I mistakenly clicked on in the library. So I guess, I don't know. Okay, here we go. The nobleman's voice is excited. The change in tone obvious in comparison to the previous entries. I had started this day resolved to run the inventor out, but he has finally pulled through. I heard him working on something in the stables overnight. The man looked like he hadn't slept at all when I approached. It was the most peculiar thing. Wings crafted out of thick fabric and spread over scaffolding, the likes of which I have never seen. The likes of which I've never... To think he kept them under covers for all that time. They are not ready and need to undergo trials, he said. Come now, says I. The sky is clear and you surely have faith in your craft. Right, the reread is only in the journal, but I don't know which one it was, which is frustrating. Cruel, perhaps, but the gambit was well worth it. So he's talking about the glider, which, I mean... The glider, I find truly a tad disappointing. I mean, it did kill me once, but it has saved me and the library, building the library twice. But I wish it really glided, you know, like a long ways. Dastan took the contraption to a nearby hill and rode down it like he would a cart. It seemed he would crash on the bottom, but something miraculous started happening in front of our eyes. The invention started lifting and then sprung into the air. At first, I thought it was mere illusion, a trick, but no. He circled the hill and came to a stop at his feet, shaking and pallid as a man and not long for the world, but intact. I have fed him, let him rest, and summoned him to my study where he has just now left. Tomorrow I shall try out his contraption. Dastan was trying to object, but he relented after I offered my price. Truly, wealth can open many doors, and I am fortunate to possess enough to afford such a bargain. Tomorrow, God willing, the same Amaro shall go down in history as the first man to have taken flight. My cousin shall be so envious. Let's hope he doesn't die like Hippie did. He said in that thing that it rose up, but the glider doesn't really rise up, does it? I mean, it just goes steady down. So, okay, that one's not letting me read it either. Sorry, guys. Those must be the 2 that I read accidentally in the library while I was there, because if you accidentally have it in your hand and you right click on anything, it reads it. And I should have written those down. Admirer of the Miller, part 3 out of 10. So we might have Admirer of the Miller before. Yeah, so we have, geez, there's 12 pages. Okay, so if you guys remember, this is where this girl saw the guy on the side of the Should we just read this? 12 pages? As I don't know which one is which. Let's just read it. Let's just read it. The pond. What could have been if this chaos had not come between us? I can't stop thinking about him. It grieves me, drives me mad. Oh yeah, this is the romance story. I'm all into this. All I could do now is write down these memories and draw what I remember with charcoal from the dying fire. I remember the first time I saw him vividly, since it was such an unusually beautiful and peaceful day. The harvest of rye had begun, but I snuck away early that day from the workers to enjoy the still summer evening out in the forest. Leaves rustled softly as I walked, and small twigs crackled under my feet. Bushes and ferns brushed against my legs and arms. I reached a glade with fallen trees of pools of water and made myself comfortable lying on top of a few moss-covered rocks. The surface was dry and soft, and the cranberries were blooming all over, buzzing with life. Looking up between the treetops, I saw the partly cloudy sky. I would do anything to go back to that moment. Feeling drowsy from the sweet, warm air, I closed my eyes and just listened. I heard crows scrambling around in the trees, and small bits of branches splashed down into the water beneath. Bees were humming to and fro close to my face. A fox barked in the distance. Footsteps, branches snapping, and brushing of vegetation. The sound stirred me from my haze. I thought it was a deer. It was a very faint, but getting closer, I looked up and saw a tall man slowly walking towards the bigger pond in the glade. And there she was taken, like immediately in love with him, I think. He sat himself down on an old log right by the water. He sat very still as I did and just looked at the water and the bugs that were dancing there. He was fair and had light, long hair with wavy locks. His gaze was cold, but at the same time gentle and at ease. By the look of his rugged hands, strong shoulders, and patched linen clothes, he was a hard-working man. He leaned toward and picked up something from the ground. He looked at his find and pulled a string from his pocket. After a brief moment of tinkering, he seemed to have made a necklace that he hung around his neck. He must have made like a, because you could make those necklaces from all the seeds, like an oak seed. A gentle smile spread across his face. Sorry for the phone, guys. A gentle smile spread across his face as he held up the adornment, piece in hand, admiring his simple creation. I was careful to stay still, not making my presence known. I did not want to disrupt the stillness with my awkwardness, and at the same time I could not take my eyes off him. He brought out a piece of folded, yellowed parchment out of his belt bag that he proceeded to scribble on, pausing every now and then and looking up, his thoughts seemingly far away. Carefully, he put away the parchment and got down on his knees by the clear forest pool and cupped his hands. He took a sip and then splashed his face, making his short beard glitter with water drops. Oh, she's smitten for sure. He removed the necklace he had made and hung it on a thin-leafed branch, looked out over the pond one last time, and then contentedly walked away through the brush. Of course, I was curious and walked over to the place he had been and inspected the necklace he had made. It was made out of a large acorn from one of the nearby oak trees. If I had only had the bravery to get up and greet him for the first time I saw him, but who was I, a shy cow farmer's daughter, to do that? He leaned forward. Oh, okay, so here, this is a repeat. See this? He leaned forward. I was careful to lay still, not making my own presence known. That kind of stinks. Okay, 7 out of that's a glitch. 7, that's the same pages. 9. 10. Okay. Whoa. That really makes no sense. So we're going to read this last one, and we have 12 pages. I'm marking that down. So those are repeats. That's really strange. Kind of disappointing. I was ready to read. I'm like intrigued by the story. I want to know how this goes. The carriage. As the harvest season went by and autumn was reaching its end, I sometimes went back to the ponds in the forest where I had first seen that mysterious man. I had not seen him before in my village, nor could I remember seeing him in the neighboring village either. It was like he had appeared out of nowhere, and I couldn't stop thinking about him to the point where it almost hurt. Oh my gosh. She's in love. The acorn necklace was still hung there untouched. The summer green color of the seed was gone, and it had turned to a shiny bronze. At some point, I realized that he probably wouldn't come back for it, so I took it and put it around my neck. I felt silly, but it was pretty in a childish and playful way. My life on the farm got more busy and rough as winter approached. The cows needed to be fed several times a day, as well as the morning and evening milking. The water in their troughs froze, and firewood in our cottage was running low. When the winds were just about to turn freezing and snow was in the air, I brought with me my little wooden cart to the nearby spruce forest to gather some firewood logs to take home and cut. As I was struggling with the frozen logs, a small horse wagon loaded with sacks and covered from the snow came rolling on the muddy forest path. The driver had a thick coat with a hood covering half his face. The gray, heavy mare was trotting energetically, but slowly down to a walk at the light tug of the driver's hands on the reins. The snow was starting to come down heavy, and my clothes were by now all covered in white. The driver stepped off the wagon and put up a hand in the air as a greeting. I hesitantly waved back. He pulled out a thick blanket and threw it over his horse. He stroked the old gray mare between the ears, and she snorted content. The driver turned to me. "Do you need cover from the storm, lass?" he said in a concerned manner. "If you need help, that is." Oh God, I'm hoping we get more of this story because that's 12 out of 12. I wrote that down so we won't read that again. We've read through page 12. The glitches are a little bit of a bummer. I don't know if that's purposeful or a mistake, but okay, let's read this one. Apologies, Florian. Now, I must have read this one before because it didn't give me the bong, but it is a scroll, so I can read it right here. Apologies, Florian. We've been dealing with a shortage of supplies regarding the generator. I mentioned already that broken pump. Oh yeah, this is supposed to give us information in the RA. We've also found an issue with one of the gears just this morning. Naturally, I've repaired the gear already and need only to reinsert it now, but there might be some delay before we can requisition a new pump. I shall ask Wade and his team if I might repurpose one of his devices from the mines, but I suspect he will loathe to part with it. So right here, he's telling me that he was working on the gear and we found it on a workbench, remember? And then the new pump we had to take from a existing pump in the mine. This is a good clue. And I did read this while we were in the RA with the Bohemians. In the meantime, I fear there will be some disruption to the mechanisms running these archives. I know the scribes find it unpleasant, but you'll have to enter the library through the maintenance room. Don't worry, he won't bother you. I'm sorry, bullshit. He does bother you. The immobilized Eidolon wakes up and tries to kill you. So Ibrahim is full of crap. Okay, so here's another one. It didn't give me a bong, but here's the patronage of... This is another one, but it doesn't tell me which one. Hail, hark, we read this. Yes, we read this. Okay. So let's put these books away really quick. And then I'll grab more. I don't like that there's so much repeat. I think I would probably like less books and less repeat than more books and more repeat. Where did we start? Did we start over here? Okay, let's just grab these. Hey, look at that. Oh, I got to put that scroll away. I read that one. Oh. Got two more. How am I doing? I'm not hungry. I just need a drink of coffee. Do you like being read to? I love being read to. I remember when the kids were little, I would read to them and we would read every night. And then there's been a couple of times when my husband and I, Scott, read to each other. We read books because when we're like sharing a book, oh my God, it's the nicest thing. I do love reading to being read to. Okay, this is 4 out of 5. So that's good. That's the next one. I'm writing this down. Journal. So let's go to the end. We read. Yes. Okay. Hi, cut paper. Oh, good. Well, I understand. Go get some good sleep. I'm glad you could come in and say hi. Okay, so this is page 7. I'm gonna write pages down because pages seem to be a little bit better. This is page 7 that we're on so far. Okay. The nobleman's voice breaks before he can utter a word, and sobbing can be heard for a long for a few long moments before he composes himself to speak clearly. Words escape me. There is truly no way I can describe the wonder. The wind in my face, soaring above the ground, seeing the world as I have never seen it before. Dastan, a genius, a visionary, blessed by God, for how else to explain this talent. Today is resting in my best guest chamber, my servants catering to all his needs, no expense spared. Tomorrow we shall speak of many things. My skull feels close to bursting with all the thoughts of what could be achieved with this invention. Again now I have tested flight. I can scarcely stop thinking about doing it now again. Watch out, because it can kill you. If you land on the edge of a block instead of on top of a block, you will get hurt. Okay, this one is not letting me read it. That one is not letting me read it. I guess maybe we've... Okay, is it possible that we found books that are in the Resonance Archive before that are already listed here? Because I have read a lot of books. Weight of Stone, 3 out of 9. 3 out of 9. So let's see what we have on the Weight of Stone. This... Okay, so this is where they're talking. Let's just read it. That way we're caught up. Stationary, long-term recording. Origin, unknown, background noise, technical issues. And this is one for you, my lovely niece. What is it? It's heavy and clinking. Clinking? Well, why don't you open it? Are they stones? You sound so disappointed. What's so bad about stones, little Emily? But there's stones everywhere. Indeed there are, but these here are special. Special stones? Marbles. Worked on them myself. See, all round and smooth and easy in the hand. So they're round stones, but still stones? Aren't you impatient today? Look here, let me show you. You put one down like this, see, and then you take the others and try to, almost hit it. Want to give it a try? It looks easy. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Want to make a bet with your uncle? Mama says you shouldn't gamble. Right, your mother is absolutely right. Well, then I guess, then I'll take these here back and search for a better gift for our little girl. Give them here. You gifted them, so they're mine now. But you didn't want them, did you? No, I want them. You can't catch me, so you can't take them back. Hoy, no running. Wait, if your mother sees you, and off she goes. Little whirlwind. They're playing marbles. I mean, I used to play marbles when I was a kid. I don't think kids play marbles anymore. We still have a big container of marbles. Salty, you know those big container of marbles? Those are heirloom marbles. Oi, Bert, you're finally out of the tunnels. What was that? Was that your niece? Sure was. The girl grows like a water root. Almost didn't recognize her. How's it been up here? Any news? Merchants been scarce. Last shipment of oil and coal was late, but they still take the ore as if they're bloody right. She remembers the marbles. Used to have a marble... oh, yeah. Nice. A marble run. Yeah, I still have them. They're in a container in the closet. Shush, Hal, not so loud. You know damn well it is their right, and we should be proud to procure the ore they used in the main city. I'll tell you, our ore is what makes the crawlers and even your lanterns. Makes the crawlers? But it wouldn't hurt them to show you some appreciation, now would it? We've all got our packs to carry down here, and it's not like up top was any better, now was it? Right, you're right. Just being uneasy is all. But as long as the tunnels don't run out, they'll have a need for us. Right. As long as there's ore. Bertram, you're back. Amelia came running just a minute ago, said you gifted her stones and wanted to bet on them, of all things. Miriam, your little whirlwind is fast on her legs, isn't she? And got a loose tongue, that girl. Don't you entice my kids to any shady deals, you hear me? It's bad enough I have to tell her father off each time. You brothers, I should have never married a miner. Ach, Marian, don't be like that. There's nothing but miners in this town anyways. And you have the gall to sound proud about it? Tell me, how the tunnels these days? Your brother comes back every day with dust stuck everywhere. I'll give up washing his clothes soon. The tunnels, huh? Low voice was fading away. I won't lie to you, Miriam. Seen better days, but surely. And then it says some entries are unreadable, the text covered with blotches and stains. Okay, so we're on page 7 of this one. I'm writing down page 7, so we don't reread anything. This one, not readable. This one, Spy and Sparrow, 3 out of 10. Okay, so 3 out of 10. So I guess it's this third page. So this is the one guy that's spying on the other people that don't know how to read or write. We don't know much about this one yet. Have drawn suspicion from Florian. Harak, subject, Smithy. Advise capture or slay when next seen. Balding, black, a beard, sheared, stout of posture but walks hunched. Next raid, Lord Cardoso's livestock. A rat supposed to open the way but no violence planned. Okay, so now he's getting suspicious of some people. Page 3. Okay. Weight of Stone, part 4 of 9. So the Weight of Stone, we were on page 7 before. So 8 and 9 are new. Okay, this is working. So page 8 and 9 are new, right? Because we read this one. Yes. So 8 and 9. So now we're to page 9. I'm writing it down so we don't get lost, guys. The 6th right tunnel is barren. What about the 3rd? Traces remaining. We sent Bert and his men a day ago. He should be back soon. If there's no ore to be found there either, nothing to do about it. We can go deeper. You think I haven't thought of it, but the men are uneasy. And I get where they're coming from. The air down there is stale and thin. But you tested the depths. The lamp went burning even down there, didn't it? So far it kept burning. But if we can avoid it... Hush, something's coming. And then half a page seems to be ripped out with uneven edges. Thank you, Salty. I'm trying to be organized so we don't reread stuff. So they're going deep into the tunnels because they have to keep ore. They have to keep finding ore. We know how what that's like, right, guys? Finding ore. Okay, here we go. Spy and Sparrow part 4 of 10. And we were on 3. So now we're up to page 5. So we need to read page 3, 4, and 5. My honorable lord, I beg of you to accept my apologies for the tone of my previous missive. Yeah, remember he was like suggesting they are suspicious. Yeah, 4 and 5. I beg of you to accept my apologies for the tone of my previous missive. Being under scrutiny, I had to be brief and omit the proper language expected by your lordship. Allowed to write the current missive in comfort, rested after thwarted raid. Florin dead of putrefaction from arrow wound. Ooh. My compliments to Lord Herrick's archers. Okay, so Lord Herrick killed Florin. Group is currently hiding within the capillaries. Advised restraint and retaliation. Reasoning as follows. Helped escape wounded lad by name of Antec from under Lord Herrick's outriders, impressing others. I implore your lordship and allies to grant time until my next missive. Will attempt to garner authority before a larger meeting of the groups, supposed to take place within the month. With luck, I may be able to deliver your lordships more than just foot soldiers. I really am kind of lost about what's going on here. Maybe it's just me that I don't follow this kind of like spy and war stuff, you know, killing each other. But I don't really understand. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee, guys. But it looks like obviously this guy's a spy in the opposing faction, whatever. Okay, let's put these away. We've read another group. I wish they had titles. Like, I wish I could, like, know, you know, which one was which and kind of group them. But I guess I can't do that. Our box is empty. Okay, more books. This one. Okay. Part 5. Let's see. Right there. So we were on page 7. Oh, so we got 8, 9, and 10 now. Okay. Amaro? Am I pronouncing that right? Amaro? Amaro? I should very much like to have this recorded for posterity. All chronicles shall remember this day, Dastan. And I think Dastan is right. Dastan, as my lord pleases, though I must state again that the endeavor will be challenging. Amaro, nonsense. What you have managed once, you shall do again, and faster this time, with my funds at your disposal. Together we shall share the gift of flight with kingdoms far and wide. Your name shall be as widespread as that of Falk's, and with good reason. Dastan says, I am humbled, my lord. Amaro says, enough coyness. Those who listen to this recording shall know the names of both Dastan and the inventor, and Tybalt Amaro, his patron. But tell me, friend, have you thought about what I asked? Dastan says, yes, I have. Amaro says, well, then let's hear it. Dastan, Farah, my lord. Farah? Farah. An odd word. What is its meaning? Silence for a few moments. Amaro says, fitting. Truly, very well then. Wait a minute. What does Farah mean? We did not get to hear that? I proclaim that we shall build a workshop on my lands, and in that workshop we shall construct Dastan's wings of Farah. We shall make them available to all in time, so that none of those made in God's image shall be without the joy of flight. This I solemnly swear. Dastan says, Inshallah. Post-scriptum, I have so far found no more concrete mentions of either Tybalt Amaro, Dastan, or the wings of Farah through some fragmented records exist to suggest that existence of mechanical wings of some description. It is unclear how many were made or how many survived the intact into our dark era. Of note, a children's story heard by one of our brothers offers an interesting detail as it concerns a flying bear. What? The Amaro family crest was a brown bear standing on its hind legs. Pure coincidence, perhaps, but I have recorded it herein as a curiosity. A flying bear? Okay, this is Tybalto. We're on page 10 now. That would be hilarious if one day we see like a bear flying through the woods on a glider. Attack bears. Now that would be even worse. Oh my God. Please no attack bears. Let's keep the gliders away from the bears. No, don't even wish it. Can you imagine? The bears are awful now. So, okay, here we go. Weight of Stone, part 5 out of 9. So, 5 out of 9, Weight of Stone. We were on page 9, so we have page 11 now. So we're going to read 10 and 11. Oh my God. Are they all right? What happened? Is that Bertram? Someone call the Greys. The tunnels down there. If the supports failed, that's why we need that bell down there. Hey man, are you all right? Can you hear me? What? I can't. Be quiet, you lot. I can't hear him. Oh, so was there a collapse? Verdamped. Verdamped? Where? Are the rest of you still down there? We need to assemble a search party right away. They went down the 3rd tunnel. If we hurry, we may still... 2 days ago. But we just can't. But we can't just. Man, I read that one weird. Someone get some water and call. The rest of the conversation is lost. Despite repeating listening, the quality of the recording and overlapping voice lines made a complete transcription impossible. So the tunnels collapsed. And guys, I think the tunnels are going to start collapsing. Like we're going to have, from, it looks like 1.19, we're going to have to start like supporting our tunnels, which means, I think he showed beams, bringing beams. Beams are going to be new in the inventory all the time. Admirer of the Miller, one of my favorite ones. Okay, so we were on page 12 before, so now we're on page 15. This is working. So let's get past page 12. There's page 12 we read. Yeah. Okay. I know I'm not I when I get in a groove, I read better, but Salty's laughing at me. Okay, Admirer of the Miller, page 13. Since I was getting cold from the snow and wind. Now remember, she came across this guy in the snow. I think that's him. It must be him. He covered up his horse and asked if she needed help. Since I was getting cold from the snow and wind, I precariously walked over and stepped into the wagon. Oh, flying bears. Yeah. That would be really bad for us. Okay, let's start over. Since I was getting cold from the snow and wind, I precariously walked over and stepped into the wagon. She's getting in his wagon? Weren't girls taught not to do that? It was dark and not much space, but at least it was dry and sheltered from the wind. Before the driver entered the wagon, he loosened the horse from the harness and let her walk free. The wagon creaked as he got in beside me. Oh, so he's not going to be moving. They're just sitting there. So he's not taking her to a different location. I'm just like, now I'm scared for the girl. He turned around behind him, lightly brushing against me as he opened a bag of grain. Sorry, guys. He scoped out a fist of grain and called his horse. Dapples, come here, girl. I know, I'm just worried about her now. I'm just really worried. Like thinking he's going to take off with her or something. The cart horse's head stuck in the wagon. The cart horse's head stuck into the wagon, and she happily ate the grain from the driver's hand. I hope you don't mind her joining us, he said with a grin while rubbing the horse's muzzle. The driver lowered his hood, and I found myself staring as I recognized him. His hair was long, light, and slightly tangled from being under the thick woolen hood, and his eyes were dark green. Her heart couldn't believe the luck that I had stumbled upon him again. So this is the Miller, and she is definitely smitten. We certainly weren't expecting this weather today. Dapples and I were just picking up some grain to bring to the mill. Are you the Miller? I asked, since I remember the Miller in the neighboring village being much older. Not exactly, or well, I work the mill now that my father passed. I am the Miller's son. He was quiet for a moment and fiddled with the reins. I guess that makes me the Miller now. He looked at me with a sad smile. I'm so sorry about your father, I mumbled, looking at his hands. We sat in silence for a while, shoulder to shoulder, melting snow dripping over our cloaks, and our breaths were smoking from the cold. I wanted to ask 1,000 questions, but I couldn't bring myself to do it when I saw the hurt look in his eyes. But maybe that was exactly what I should have done. Your father must have meant a lot. He was a rough man, as Millers go, but he did have a good heart. I left my life as a brewer to come back to the mill when he got ill. The old man deserves no less. The Miller scoffed. I do miss the brewing business, though. It was a breath of new life from the slow farming labors. But as long as I get to brew some of my special Miller's mead, all is well. He smiled slightly, then he caught sight of an acorn necklace hanging around my neck. Oh, she's caught! She's caught! She has the necklace. This is a good romance story. I was a little freaked out for her at the beginning, though. Spy and the Sparrow, part 5 out of 10. Okay, so we were on page 5, so we have page 6 now. Okay, page 6. Okay, so what was happening before? He helped this young guy. Okay, I remember now. With luck, I may be able to deliver your lordships more than just foot soldiers. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. My sincere thanks for your generous and wise decision to abstain from violence against the bandits. I realize the recent attacks have been a nuisance, but my plan is bearing fruit. My contribution to the raids was noted. My apologies to the guard at Viscount Cardoso's estate. I pray his knee heals well, and my reputation among the group is now well established. I have been informed that the chapter has been noted by a certain sparrow. Unsure as of yet if this is a nom de... I don't know how to pronounce that, guys. That's a French word. Or a title, but have heard it often lately. Nom de guerre? Tomorrow we are to join a meeting which addresses the current makeup of the group and its priorities. So he's whiling his way into this group. I will send another missive as soon as I am able to do so in less plentiful company. Okay, so I think I wrote down, 6. Okay, I wrote that one down. That one we've read, I guess. Part 6 out of 9. Weight of Stone, 6 out of 9. And we were on 11, so now we're on page 12. This is the little girl with the marbles. And what were they talking about? Oh, someone, there was a tunnel collapse. Okay. What do you mean we have to raise the prices? Again, didn't you sell these to me for half the price just last time? Sure did, can't anymore. That's all you have to say? Look here, Hafred, I have to feed myself too. You know how hard it is to get fresh food these days. It's not like it grows on stones. But take it or leave it, Hal. Fine. What is he selling? Fresh food? I just don't, I'm getting lost on this one too. Yeah, they had a tunnel collapse, and now food is going for much more expensive. Okay, so I wrote 12 down. I really do want to understand the lore because I know there's more coming, and I want to have the story kind of mapped out in my head when we get the new stuff. Okay, part 7 out of 9. So we were on page 12, so now we need to read page 13 and 14. I'm hoping this clears some stuff up. Mama, yes, my darling, what is it? Will Uncle Bert be all right? Of course, sweetheart. He's big and strong, isn't he? Just like your father. You know how the miners are. Yes, all miners are strong like oxen. Oxen, my dear. Oxhen, she says, but she fixes it. Oxen, my dear. Did old Bergman talk to you about the above again? That woman has too much time on her hands. Oh, so they're living in the mines. Okay, got it. She told me that we're special, we're strong and dark, and the dark won't scare us none. No fear, because we miners were always down here. No fear. Well, I guess my little wildling isn't scared of anything anymore, huh? You really do take after your father and uncle both. Yes, I'll be big and strong like Uncle Bert one day. Just you wait, Mama. Sometimes I wish your father had a bit more fear in him, or some thoughts left for his family waiting at home for him. But Mama, you were the one who chased him out with your broom last time. And he earned that scolding. Now come along, your uncle is waiting for that medicine you're carrying. Okay, so that's the Weight of Stone. We're on 14. Okay. So they are living in the mines. She speaks of the above, about the above world. Okay, one more on this Admirer of the Miller, part 5 out of 10. And we were on 15 last time, so now we're on 17. So let's go 16 and 17. Oh, that's right. He saw the necklace. Oh, here she's going to be blushing. That necklace, he paused. Now I realize my cheeks blushed. I knew it. And I cursed myself that I still had it. Although now I am very glad I kept it, I stammered. I found it by the ponds in the forest, he says. He said slowly and looked curiously at me. I actually saw you there, I quickly confessed, and I started fiddling with the knot at the necklace. He put up his hand in the air to stop me before I could take it off. Please, keep it. He laughed heartily and gently, pet Dapples, who was standing half asleep. Now, where to? Let me drive you. The storm doesn't seem to be letting up. He backed up his horse and hopped out of the wagon. That's very kind, but I need to bring the firewood home. I excused myself. Dapples might be an old mare, but she doesn't mind a little bit of extra cargo. The miller winked and refastened Dapples to the wagon and proceeded to load the firewood. I felt a bit overwhelmed by his kindness and quickly sprung to my feet to help him, saying thank you again and again. That was Admirer of the Miller, page 17. Okay, got it written down. Okay, that was the last one in our hands, so I'm going to put these ones away. I am really enjoying that story a lot. Let's put some books over here. I'm just kind of randomly putting books around, guys, so I can kind of just... Oh, no. So I can just decorate a little bit around. Keep the books kind of spread out. Hey, we're halfway through. And we've been going for almost an hour. It's pretty good. Are you guys enjoying? I really love reading these stories. Is it smut? I don't know if it's smut. It's not smut yet. If it gets smutty, then I might I might have trouble reading it. But you guys know, listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. If you ever need a white elephant gift, the best white elephant gift is to go get the smuttiest book you can find. Like, go to just Walgreens or some dollar store and go to a romance novel. Get a romance novel. Now, this is an adult white elephant gift. Don't take this to kids' parties or anything. Go buy the cheapest smutty book you can find and just quickly run through the book and just highlight all the really smutty parts. It's a great white elephant gift. It's great. People love it. Love it. It's a good idea. I swear. Okay, here we go. Can't read that one. Admirer of the Miller, part 6. Where is it? Okay, we were on page 17, so now we're on page 19. Okay, here we go. She's in the carriage with him. We got into the carriage, our clothes completely covered in snow. The miller asked his horse to move forward in a slow trot. Despite the cold, I found the wintry landscape delightful. The snowflakes tickling my skin on my face and the fresh bite in the air. Come to think of it, it's probably winter on the surface now. If there only was a way to feel the snow again. If there only was a way to feel... Okay. I had a piece of parchment in the pocket of my skirt, which I used to make a sketch of Dapples trudging through the snow. The miller glanced at the paper and I shyly showed him the drawing. His eyes brightened. Beautiful. In a way, it's like a poem without words, isn't it? I used to write poems. He slowed down Dapples at a sharp turn in the road. I saw you writing something when I saw you there at the pond, I remarked, folding the parchment again, and then pulling the cloak tighter around me. That was the first time I wrote after many years of not writing at all. He noticed the curious spark in my eyes. I know what you're thinking. It's been a long time since I wrote something worth reading. I could not bore you with my nonsense. He seemed a bit embarrassed, so I left it at that. Perhaps he had never shared these things with anyone before. If you say so, another time then. We briefly looked at each other, smiling shyly. That, knowing that they're going to see each other again. It's cute. They're like flirting. We rode off down the road as the snowstorm seemed to be waning. My skin was cold, but I felt warm on the inside all the way home. His presence made me feel so comfortable and safe in a way I had not felt before. Aww. Cute. Okay, that was 19. I wrote it down. Oh, here we go. More. I like this one. Admirer of the Miller. Okay, now we're on 21. So I'm going to have to see. 21. So we need to read 20 and 21. Getting along. It's going to be a long story. The mill. In early spring, when it was almost time to sow the rye, I was herding my family's 3 cows through the woods of the neighboring town. I had my cow herd staff guiding them through the trees, letting them eat off the sparse, sprouting grass that was growing there. I stood leaning on my staff, looking out over the town below, seeing the townsfolk going about their business. Smoke was rising from the cottages, the sweet smell of fresh bread wafted through the air, and the white sails of the mill were cheerfully spinning in the bright sky. Oh, that sounds so nice. From a distance, I saw the miller carrying sacks of grain from a wagon into the mill. He was moving vigorously, not stopping to take a break. He greeted some townsfolk on their way into town and then moved the horse and cart out of the way before he disappeared into the mill. I was awoken from my daydream, hearing the cows from a distance. The 3 of them were heading out on the fields. With hurried steps, I went out after them. But alas, they were full of spring energy and cheekiness and just kept running ahead of me. Remembering this now, as I sit here in the cold mountain, I realize how much I really loved those animals, even when they were naughty. They were stopped by a ditch between the mill and the field. So vintage story. I bet there were rabbits in that ditch. And I finally got to them. But cows go in the ditches too, so that cow could go in there. I got in between them and tried to turn them, but ended up startling them. One by one, they scrambled down and through the ditch to the other side, pushing me off balance and shoving me in the mud. I can still remember the taste and the awful feeling of my feet sinking. Oh God, she's gonna get stuck there and he's gonna have to come and save her. The Weight of Stone, Part 8 out of 9. On The Weight of Stone, we were on page 14, so now we're on 15. So we read 14, yes. That poor family. It wasn't enough for Bertram to come back in that state. Now even his brother, oh no, Bertram's brother's in trouble now, heard Miriam cry all night. What about the daughter? They say he went too deep, not enough air. Hush, they're carrying the body out. From the stone we make our living, and the stone will we return. Following is one of the only complete records of a tunnel burial, a local tradition observed in the rural mining settlements, cross-referencing with the documentation provided in A Miner's Guide to the Depths. Oh man, so that was the little girl's dad? Oh. Sad. I'm getting sad, guys. Okay, that one I can't read. Admirer of the Miller, Part 8 out of 10. We were on page 21. Okay, so now we're on page 23. I saw the cheeky heifers running, skipping and leaping along, headed to the bright green, sun-kissed grass on the hill by the mill. Desperately, I tried to group them together, but at this point, they were all way too mischievous. They ended up scattering, one of them stomping in through the door of the mill. I was staring in disbelief. There was a commotion, the sound of crashing wood, and a cloud of flour flying out of the door, quickly followed by a ghostly-looking cow covered in white flour, bellowing and coughing. Out from the settling flour stumbled the miller with a wooden shovel in hand and dusty sleeves rolled up to the elbows, swearing, "Damn cow, where did you come from? Shoo!" He hesitated when he noticed me and looked up and down. "Please herd your animals somewhere not near the mill." Uh-oh, is he mad at her? They got away and I started flushed. He chuckled and raised an eyebrow when he recognized me. "So you are having a bad day as well. Cowherdus." Is that even a word? Cowherdus. He laughed and brushed the flour off his chest. "Last time we met in a snowstorm. Now you brought cow mayhem and took a mud bath." He put the small wooden shovel on his shoulder. Your four-legged friend here knocked down 2 sacks of spelt flour and knocked the lever from the wooden axle, jammed it completely. The sails of the mill made a pleasant, low, muffled sound as he stood looking at each other, as we stood looking at each other. I need not to say that I was beyond embarrassed at that point, just hopelessly standing there, messy, cold, and without cows. But his smile comforted me and ensured that he wasn't too mad. The mill will be fine. The brakes are on. Let me help you gather your wild animals. He looked slightly amused as he grabbed a rope from the wall in the mill. Cute. The story is so cute. Okay, that was 23, page 23. What's this one? Ooh, okay. Admirer of the Miller. I'm liking this story, guys. I'm really... Okay, so page 25. 24 out of 25. Let me write down 25 real quick. We managed to gather the cows into the horse pasture nearby. He noticed I was shivering from the cold, wet clothes I was wearing, so he brought me inside the sparse-lit mill. It was quite loud inside from the wooden machinery still spinning. We had dairy cows when I was little, he mentioned, looking at me, understanding. They always got into trouble. Can't live with them and can't live without them. He put his thick woolen mantle around my shoulders when I sat down. It was still warm from his body. Oh God, here we go. The hood was too big and messed up my hair. He lightly brushed a lock out of my eyes. He grabbed a wooden hammer and started working on the dislocated machinery. I kept stealing glances at him as he worked. Oh, hi, Sarah. We're just talking about how much I love this little romance story here. He grabbed a wooden hammer and started working on the dislocated machinery. I kept stealing glances at him as he worked. You are staring, he mumbled, looking back at me. Come and help me instead. We managed to get the mill's machinery in working order again, and the miller declared he needed a drink. He proudly brought out a jug of his home-brewed miller's mead that we shared. Oh, they're drinking mead together. It was delicious, a rich taste of honey, hops, grain, and spices, fit for a noble. Sadly, I doubt I will ever get to taste it again. The alcohol soon turned our slightly awkward talk into a soft-hearted banter. I asked him about his poems that he had mentioned on our last encounter, and after much persuasion, he brought out a couple that he had written. Oh my God, keep this story going. I kind of love this story, guys. Admirer of the Miller. That was page 25. Okay, I have that written down. Oh, yay, more. Oh, 10 out of 10. This is the last one? No. I really like this story. Okay, we got to go to page 26. I don't want this story to end. Okay, I'm going to write down 27 just in case there's another one, but I think that this is the last one. A slight bit of nervousness showed in his eyes when he told me that no one else had heard them before, and he ran his hand through his hair several times as he started reading out loud. I like how they describe little details in life in such a simple and beautiful way, I said, and he took a brief pause. He seemed relieved to hear this and regained his courage to keep reciting. You might recognize this one, he said softly, looking at me, and shared his words as he had memorized. Acorn on a string, isn't it a delightful thing? A great oak born from a small seed, growing slowly but steadily, silently saying, This is but all I need. I carry this one acorn with me. It reminds me of what small things hold, and thus it makes me stronger and bold. Oh. I brought out the acorn that was still hanging around my neck. The miller nodded silently. I would like to see you again soon. There are so many odd rumors going on out in the villages, he said, and pulled me into a light, warm hug. And I really don't mind taking care of you, Cowherdess. I'm sure they are just rumors, I said, blushing. And oh, how wrong I was saying that. Oh no, he's going to take care of her. There's bad stuff going on, and he's going to take care of her. That sunny spring day was the last time I ever saw the miller. No, what? Only a week after we had met in the mill, the gathering and excavation of villagers and townfolk started. I so dearly hope that the miller is safe in a shelter like I am, so that we might have a chance of finding each other again when it's all over. If ever, I still have that acorn hanging close to my heart. It reminds me of what I have lost, but it also gives me hope, however slight it may be. Is it bad to cry while I'm live streaming? That is so sad. Okay, so this is before everybody had to go down into the tunnels? So this is that long ago? Like before civilization just like got completely gone? Oh, I'm sad. Ooh. Oh man. Okay, let's put these away. I gotta put some more books away. Oh, what a sweet story. I hope they find each other under there. I'm just gonna, I can always move these later. Let's just put them away. Is it dark? It's getting dark. I have to show you guys something, just really quickly. I was frantically carving pumpkins, and I did carve some pumpkins, and I don't think he's changed it so you can't carve them yet. But the whole reason I wanted to do before the rot, as the rot started. Yeah, I think it was before the rot. Yeah. So I wanted to show you guys really quickly what it was my plan. And now this is not done. And so I'm hoping I can continue to carve some pumpkins, but I was going to do an observatory like thing up here. These are all pumpkins that I just carved into like little stars. There's monsters up here. I think it's too many stars right now. And I was going to fill up this whole space up here with stars. So there's my starry observatory bedroom. What do you think? I want to show you guys that while it was dark. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm still struggling to get up and down my stairs. I think I'm gonna make them a little. It's one pumpkin that I copied to all the other pumpkins, so they're the same, but I twisted some of them. You like it? I twisted, I spun some of them. So I think I'm gonna like take out a few more, and then if I can still carve pumpkins. Hey, welcome. Thank you. I'm gonna do more. And I think I'm gonna take out some of them and then recopy and spin them. But anyway, I wanted to show you that while it was dark. My little observatory bedroom. And my stairs are still very awkward to walk up and down, but I still really, really like them. Okay, we have one box left. I'm so sad that story's over. I mean, literally, I'm sad. Like, I could read the story about those two people over and over again. They do look a little clumpy. That's what I was going to work on. I know it was October and November last year, but he said only October this year. He didn't say November. So I don't know whether he actually meant November still. But I could still carve pumpkins in November. So I'm hoping that he has like meant October and November, because I can still carve pumpkins. So let's hope he doesn't turn it off. Yeah, steal it. Steal the idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thin them out a little bit more and then keep spinning them until they look right. And then probably get like maybe 10 more pumpkins done and put it up there. So I have like an observatory bedroom. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do the rest of these books. This is, okay, so this is a scroll that's supposed to give you hints down in the RA again. Tired of all this damn shoveling. Every morning, Eustace, the boiler needs more coal. And every night, Eustace, the gasifier needs more coal. So that is the key. That's the clue to tell you about the gasifier. And the gasifier turns on the lights in the library. And the gasifier is right past the boss room. I suppose I should be grateful to still be alive at this point, but honestly, couldn't they make some kind of little metal man to shovel the coal and then leave me in peace? So maybe that thing I killed, I called it something earlier, but I can't remember. Immobilized Eidolon. Maybe that is meant to put the coal back in the burners, like the boiler and the gasifier. I'll make sure they both stay lit, of course. Make sure that the little men are keeping up their work and all. Yes, I like the sound of that. Foreman Eustace, keeping everything running. Now that's got some weight to it. The Weight of Stone, 9 out of 9. So this is the last one for the Weight of Stone. And we were on 15, so we're on 17 now. 16 and 17. This is the last one. I won't be coming back, Hal. You're on your own from now on. I see. I guess it's goodbye then. I'm sorry. No, you have to feed your own too, right? It's not profitable to come out here anymore. They're rationing even the mushrooms now, and there's no more trade happening either. Right. So no more haggling over your wares, eh? Haha. Yeah, all right, I guess. Are you sure you want to stay? Why not pack up and come back with me? No, I can't. There's still the mine, isn't there? And the kids are still here too. The Grays and the Pebbles, and even Hag Bergman is still here. All the good it does us. Hal, about that mine shaft. No, never mind. It's too late now, isn't it? They haven't told us to stop. I see. Right. I don't want to keep you. Off you go, yes? Say hello and goodbye to your wife as well. Goodbye, Hal. Where's he going? I think this is all before the rot, too? Is that what you guys are thinking? Oh, good. Sonera. Is that how you pronounce it? Sonera only? Well, I'm glad. Traveling trader. Okay. I'm glad because, this is my love. I mean, I used to play so many different video games before I came across Vintage Story, and now it's basically the only one I play. I mean, I do play other things, but this is the one that I love the most, so I share it. And that's why I started a YouTube channel. I literally started a YouTube channel because of Vintage Story. I mean, I did Eco first, and then that went nowhere. And then I found Vintage Story, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, a traveling trader would visit to sell. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's Spy and Sparrow part 6 out of 10. Wait, Spy and Sparrow, okay. So, sorry about that, I just hit the mic. 6 out of 10. So I think the rot will start when they force them to dig deeper, which it sounds like is about to happen. Yes. I think that's okay. So they go down deep, they get the rot, they bring it back up, and then they kill everybody up top because they kind of end up only living down below later, I think is the way it works. Okay, so this is Spy and Sparrow. We were on 6, now we're on 8. So 7 and 8. My lord, apologies for such a long pause in my missives, but I have hardly had the opportunity to write. New additions to the group include a scribe and an escaped nun. I would rather not take unnecessary risks, as both are ardently devoted to the cause. Meeting with Sparrow was akin to a rowdy commoner's moot, with ale, food, and merriment aplenty, a treat for my chapter at least, as we were struggling with supplies in recent weeks. Did not manage to get a closer look at Sparrow, but heard her speak. A woman of strong build, perhaps a mason or otherwise a physical worker, with a loud voice and much of a following within the ranks. Many issues raised, among them supposed attention to the flock, a moniker now also adopted by my compatriots, by the blackguards, broad goals for the coming months, many harsh comments on life in the tunnels. Heard many stories, most find many listeners nodding their heads in agreement. Surprised by the group's steadfastness, despite coming from many backgrounds and speaking different tongues, their spirit will be hard to subdue anew. Shall write again soon. Details of new targets are expected to come down from Sparrow within a few days. I'm still confused by what's going on with the Spy and Sparrow thing. You guys have any? I can't. I have trouble watching spy movies, and I have trouble watching like the murder mysteries and things like that because I just can't follow this stuff. Okay. Drink from my coffee. This is really fun. I'm really enjoying reading all these books. I feel like I'm reading them with a little bit more clarity and really paying more attention when I'm reading them with you guys. Just anybody like have any insight on the Spy and the Sparrow, let me know. Okay, this one. Spy, and here's another one. So maybe we'll get I feel like I'm getting lost on this one. So we were on page 8. Page 9. My lord, I hope this message reaches you swiftly. The next planned attack targets your lordship's estate. Okay, so he's reporting to this lord who is obviously enemies with this group. He's spying on them with the goal of procuring valuables from your storage at the Stout's hold. I have offered that due to some of the goods held there being connected to Fawkes's project, there is a risk of blackguard retribution. I think that's actually pronounced blackguard retribution, but to no avail. Sparrow seems to have reassured all involved that the raid will focus on precision, so that doesn't happen. Okay, so there's a raid going to happen. And okay. Myself and Antec have been chosen to spear point the raid. Oh, God. And he's like the spy. My lordship, I once again humbly request your restraint. The raid needs to achieve at least partial success, and all involved are said to expect an audience with Sparrow. So this is his way to get with Sparrow, who is the leader of this opposing group. This is my chance to speak to her alone, see how smart I am, and relay all I learned to your lordship and allies. It takes me a minute with these spy stuff. My brain, it just doesn't work in this spy orientation at all. Myself and Antec will wear red scarves around our heads. I am fairly certain that no one else shall use a distinctive piece of garb. Well, that's going to kind of make you stand out, dude. I entreat your lordship to instruct the guards to let us two roam unchallenged, and they pledge to only take as much as deemed necessary to impress the group and the Sparrow. Okay. Did I write that down? 10? We're on 10 now. No, I need to write 10 down. Okay. And that one won't let me read it. And didn't we just read that one? Oh, no. Okay. We were on page 10, so now we have 11 and 12. I write to you distraught and disconcerted. Antec is dead. The young lad stabbed through the throat, giving his last breath in the interest of the cause. Oh my God. My cause. Have I not made it clear we would be distinctly dressed? Have I not made clear my wish that the boy be unharmed? The letter I passed has been read. I know this as one of the guards, seeing me approaching, laid down his arms and pointed me to the meager trove set aside for me to slip away with. Why then, pray, has this same approach not been extended to Antec just moments before? My lord, I realize the tone of this letter may be inappropriate. You should, however, know my disappointment. The lad had promise and was crucial for building my good standing among the flock. Oh, the flock with a capital F. I am now bereft of not just a compatriot, but a valued asset. I have been invited to meet Sparrow. Expect my next missive soon. Okay, Spy and Sparrow, we're on page 12. Okay, so this is getting intense. I hope we have the whole story. Okay, here we go. The next one, hopefully. Yes. So we were on 12, so we have one more page. Sounds like the spy is going to turncoat. Yeah. Why'd they kill Antec? That was not the deal. Sparrow knows, has been through my ploy, I am certain. Has seen through my ploy, I am certain. Shit, he's in trouble. Riding in haste, being watched. Next attack, Baron Tassie's weekly convoy, Sparrow leads. Plan to surrender to guards, red sash across tunic. Capture and deliver to your lordship for details on Flock and Sparrow. So now so now he's gonna get caught by the people that he's actually spying for. Is that the deal? Sparrow knows. He has seen through my ploy, I'm certain. Riding in haste. He's being watched. Next attack. Weekly convoy. Sparrow leads. So he's telling him about the next attack. Plan to surrender to guards. So he's going to surrender to his own guards. Capture and deliver to your lordship for details. Okay, got it. So we're on page 13 now. Okay, so this is another admirer of the miller we already read. This is when she first sees the sexy dude by the pond. And Spy and the Sparrow, part 10 of 10. This is going to finish this one off, it looks like. So we were on page 13, so we have 2 more pages, 14 and 15. To whoever reads this, oh God, this is not good. Should have seen your guards, stupid gobs. Should have seen your guards as stupid gobs when Emmerich, or whatever his name really was, fell over with a bolt through his head. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Bastard thought he was so smart, but not smart enough to cover his tracks. The one who forwarded this message to you has been warned. For her sake, let this be the last one she delivers. Okay, so this is being written by somebody else. You must think of us as simpletons who cannot recognize a double-crossing rat when they see one. So this is written by the Sparrow. This must be written by the Sparrow. To whoever reads this, should have seen your guards, stupid gobs, when Emmerich, or whatever his name really was, fell over with a bolt through his head. Bastard thought he was so smart, but not smart enough to cover his tracks. The one who forwarded his messages to you has been warned. For her sake, let this be the last one she delivers. You must think of us as simpletons who cannot recognize a double-crossing rat when they see one. If there are more, I will know, and when I do, a quick execution will be the best they can count on. We are not cruel, but can be if that is the only thing you lords understand. How many of your people have we killed over the last months? A handful, perhaps? Accidents happen. More of your servants, subjects, even guards have joined our ranks when they understood the truth. We do not need you. There are no fields to till in this darkness, no castles to impress from a distance, no authority you hold that cannot be challenged. Why would we serve those who have not to offer but endless toil and the expectation to have their boots licked? Ooh. The flock offers every man and woman a way to take their lives in their own hands. If they serve, then only because they wish to, not because they are forced to. And all of us, though, we come from disparate places and are not all peasants, nor burghers, nor soldiers. This universal truth we understand well. Our fate is our own to forge, and we do not need approval from God Almighty, perhaps, but not from the likes of you. When we establish ourselves and make ourselves known to all, we shall perhaps approach you to deal as equals. Until then, do not cross us, or it might be you lying on the ground with a bolt in your skull. Shit. That Sparrow, she is one tough cookie. That was written by the Sparrow, right? I mean, that's really the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So this group of people down below, I mean, they seem like they're good. Like you would want to align with them, right? Like, I mean, because they seem like they know what they're doing, and you know, they're not. I mean, remember that guy was saying that they were all simpletons or whatever, but it doesn't seem like they really are. Let's see. I've got to put that one away, and then I have 2 scrolls. I can put that up there, and I can put this scroll right there. I think. Oh, we've got 6 more left. Excellent. Feisty. Yeah, I like her. Okay, that one I can't read. 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 Damn, that one I can't read. And that one I can't read. I can't read any of these, so these must all be ones that we've read already. And I think that means, honestly, we've read all of the lore. Other than anything I find, yeah, that I know the scrolls kind of they lay down. Let's see if I can put some books way up there. That would be good. Okay. We've officially read all of the lore. Let's just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. 3 boxes of lore. My favorite story was definitely the Admirer of the Miller, because that was super, super cute. Super cute story. So I heard Moon Shadow that Tyron is giving us a made scroll rack for 1.19. So we will be able to make them and the scroll racks and be able to put the scrolls. Don't I have a scroll rack somewhere? I thought I had I have a scroll rack over in that I was able to pick up out of one of the Better Ruins. And we'll be able to make those. That's a 1.19 thing, I think, which I'm super excited about. So, yeah. Really quick, guys, I don't have the cats mod anymore. I have had a lot of trouble with the cats mod. All my cats are gone. I had trouble getting into the Bohemian server, and I crashed. It made me impossible to get in, and it was a crash on the cats mod. I'm struggling with the cats mod, so I just deleted it. It makes me completely sad, and maybe later I'll put it back in, but right now I don't have any cats. Bums me out. And because I lost, and if you guys watched yesterday's video, I lost my cows too. So instead of relying on the cows, I went in and gave myself sheep. Because that way, if I have more trouble, I know sheep are vanilla, and hopefully I won't have trouble again. I'll be explaining on my next video how to spawn in whatever generation animals you want. Because I did figure it out. It's not, God damn it, my sheep are out. Are you my Gen 4? God dang it, what are you doing out here? Yeah. Oh, you bastard. I don't understand why they're coming out here. I don't understand it. I'm going to have to expand this. I'm really just tired of the animals. I'm glad to hear that someone else is having problems with the cats. So literally what happened was I turned off the mod to go into my cold start. So I was going to play a cold start without the cat mod. And so I turned off a bunch of the mods. I turned them all back on and came back in. And my sheep were gone. I mean, my cows were gone. And my cats were gone. I don't think it should work that way. I think I should be able to like pick and choose what mods I want to use on what map. I feel like that's probably like the way it's meant to work. But it does no. Yeah, come in here, guys. Oh geez, you guys, I'm gonna like lose all my sheep. Bonk. Oh, he's gonna kill me. I don't have any armor on. Aha. She can go in later. So, yeah. So cows, I'll fix that. I'll make that a full wall. I forgot I don't have any armor on, so they can hurt when you don't have armor on. Anyway, guys, it is full on spring here, and I have apple trees that, look, the apples have apples on them. They're going to be ripe in 20 days, 19 days. I have I also thought you could use the mods like that between maps. Good to know at least. Well, I would just be careful. They say that you're supposed to be able to do it, but I do think it's really glitchy. And I think more than that, I think that the Cats mod has a problem with me having it on the Bohemian server and having it in my single player. I think that there are some times that because I have it in two places on my computer, and every single time I talk to the Cats mod author, he says it looks like you have it double loaded or something. Well, I do have it double loaded, but it's in two different folders. I think that there's some issue there. I don't know. It bums me out though. Let's put her crown back on. It really does bum me out. There we go. No more reading glasses. No more reading. I know the mods are separate, but I do think sometimes that there is some issues. Yeah, we still have Cat Mountain. Let's go. I will show you Cat Mountain again. I'm having trouble. There's Cat Mountain. And Cat Mountain doesn't have snow on her anymore. So next episode, guys, I think next episode will be Monday. And I'm going to go caving. I'm going to open another TL. I'm going to open a TL, and I haven't done it yet, so I haven't played it yet. But I'm going to open this TL. I'm kind of hoping we can go north and maybe find some more ruins and stuff while it's summertime. So that will be what we do next episode, guys. But I am going to call this here. I am really, really glad you guys joined me for the lore. I thought it might be boring, but it was something that I really wanted to do, and I really enjoy the lore, and I really am hoping that it kind of continues. The arc will continue through the next update. I don't know. Do I need to stop the entire client, like turn it off, turn it back on, all that? No, I didn't do that. I like turned on the mods, turned them off, then went back. But I didn't turn off Vintage Story, like push quit. All good, Salty. Thanks you guys so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Monday will be a new video of us going to open a TL and doing some caving. I'll put my armor back on, I promise, so I don't die. Enjoy, you guys. Have a good day. Thanks for being here. See you soon. Okay, Moon, I will make sure, and I will try that next time. Quit completely. I think Ippy looks so cute. Bye, guys.